Hello, 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 and welcome to Team Fortress TV 2, might I add. We're going to be watching the ETF2L Season 27 Week number 4 game between Lowpander and the Absolute Nuts, otherwise known as Nunya. My name is Bren. I'm ready, I'm pumped, I'm joined with Dolly, the one and only, might I add you, Dolly. And we've also got Nicell on the production. This is going to be an absolute slobber knocker. I want everyone right now in the chat to go to Team Fortress TV and say, get your asses over to Team Fortress TV 2, because this is going to be a good one. I'm sorry, Dolly, I've been talking for too long. What are your thoughts as we're jumping into this game as the countdown already begins?
I think Nunya are a lot better than people expected. I think, although they are at the bottom of the table, I think they could pull out some results against Lowpander, but it'll be interesting to see how Lowpander react to certain strategies that Nunya have as we do roll up to this first mid-run.
Indeed we do. It's going to be Lowpander versus the Absolute Nuts. Battle for the ages. Lowpander team, traditionally, people have known them to be, you know, they've got some questionable strategies, but the first kill should be going actually to the way of Lowpander. Why have they got Imagine as their tags? That's just confusing me. But as they pick up that first kill, Con God, otherwise known as, is that his actual name? Con God? That's
Con Dog,
Con
yeah.
Dog, isn't it? Yeah, he's not a god in that sense because he has just fallen on the mid, but it is going to be going the way of Lowpander for now. Already moving it. They have capped up the mid, so they're on the second point, and it's going to be a last hole for now with no advantage, so to speak of.
Yeah, we did see Mookie go all the way behind on that mid. He really distracted, set up a lot of plays for that team. They could have been expected, you know, a heavier energy. This map has a really short rollout, so I think we'll see some of that in future mid fights. But we do see a massive Uber advantage on the side of Crayon, and they are going to be using it into this last as they move in through the river area, bro.
Absolutely. The Uber charge gets popped off. They're going to be moving into the last point. Sentry Gundo going to be denying them up a decent level. Rat Slayer bringing down Mookie as well. In the midst of it, trading 1-for-1 as it stands out. Not quite actually, as Mookie is the only one to fall in this engagement. And immediately we see Lowpander. They're backing off for now. They don't want to be wasting any more players. Don't want to be losing any more as well. They just want to be backing off. Rat Slayer does die though. That's a demo man down in the final moments. I don't know if that's going to affect things, but still the push attempt is coming out from the Absolute Nuts, as they like to be called. But they're just happy to kite back onto the last. They have an Uber advantage. I mean, I'd like to see them push off this.
That was an amazing play from Ubers. He just sits in lower and takes down the demo man. Now they have no control over the doors. We do see Mookie on spy, but he does get spammed a little bit. I'm not sure if Nunya know that there is a spy, but Mookie with his typical off-class style looking to enter and get and break into the stronghold on the last.
This is going to be tough. This is going to be hard. Gink realizes it. Look at him. He's spy checking all over the place on the pyro. He knows it. He's cracked onto it. It's going to be a hard ass for Mookie, but he has infiltrated the rocket. He connects. Don't know where he is, but oh, he's dead. Goodbye. Yellen brings him down.
It was really odd. One of the scouts actually just spammed lower because a soldier was there, and Hildreth actually goes down on the front lines as well. Wow, okay. So 2 down on the side of Lowpander, and this should initiate a push for Nunya, but they do have control of these doors despite a demo man loss, and Ratslayer just locking down this lower. They're looking to get some initiation with the scout. That's Crafty Dave possibly falling, but does retreat as Yellen picks up the frags, isolate those overextended players, and Nunya looking to get a free second off the back of these 2 picks.
Everybody popping off the battalion's back up there. I was about to say ultimate and been casting a bit too much Overwatch, I think. But regardless of that, the Uber charge is going to be coming out from both these teams as they try and take the fight onto the second point. Ubers is in a bit of a sticky situation in the back lines. He will be brought down eventually in the second point now. Starting to go the way of the Absolute Nuts. They are going to be able to stabilize the bleeding for now. Possibly push out onto the mid-fight if they get another foothold. They don't have an Uber advantage, but they do have a slight one, so to speak. It's only about 10% though, but is it going to be enough to work off? They're still going to be taking up the mid as well. Does neither side have any really advantage to work off? But it is going to be the Absolute Nuts taking the positioning advantage for now.
That was an amazing play, just isolating those players and using that Hildreth pick to go through those doors. The demo man has so much control on this map of all the choke points, and once he's down, it's just your opportunity to flood all the way through. We do see an even Uber advantage situation, but Ubers is on the battalion's backup, and this is where it thrives, honestly, Bren. You can take a trade and then repush with like the damage resistance.
Right.
So it's almost like a second Uber. You can really abuse this, and I've seen Lowpander abuse this in the last few games, where they just play around with the banners, and it just kind of plays into that tilt factor and that new strategy. But we do see Yellen on the conch as well, and they're looking to pressure this lower.
Working their way around. First pick, however, Crafty will fall here. Lowpander have an opportunity to work off. Mookie falling incredibly low. Has to back off for the heals for now. Still a one-pick advantage going their way. See if they want to work off it. They're just waiting patiently as it stands around the choke point. Exchange a bit of spam. Crafty is going to be respawning pretty soon. Mookie's going into drop down. He's looking for an opportunity down there. Let's see if he manages to pick up a player or two. Leaks his way up. Finds the rockets coming down. Is he going to get the kill? Not quite. He gets brought down just in the nick of time. Corndog will survive with the Uber charge. Trade not really working out for them in that scenario. Still one player down now for the side of Lowpander. Now is the opportunity to push here, Dolly.
Mookie flying high in that situation, but can't get the force. Corndog with amazing movement there. Ratslayer looking to punish these players around the big door, but Crayon rotating his heels nicely there. And we're just going to see this stalemate situation. Gink, a very, very great sniper. He's pulled out a lot, especially against the likes of Stark and things. He's definitely a talent in the scene at the moment on sniper. So they could use it, but we do see a conch blown, and this is going to be an Uber trade situation, Bren.
They're moving in with it, trying to work their magic into the backlines. Crafty's also managed to work his way into the backlines as well, but first pick will go to Lowpander. They just spam out the choke point and Yellen will fall. Just going to put an end to any and all pushes. Now all the conch are going to be popped off again. Was it blown? Not too
Battalion's
sure.
back up.
Battalion's back
so
up
damage
this
resistance
time.
coming through the choke. This is going to work much better than that speed boost. They get so much resistance as we see Crafty falling. That flank is not going to work, and the timing is perfect. Ratslayer just gets caught out asking for an arrow. Pappy has fallen really low as well, and Corndog has the pop of Zuba in the low ground. He's completely isolated, and Funz is on the sorry, that's Mr. Epic on the hunt. He's relentless at the moment. He's really showing his talent as Yellen falls as well. An amazing push, repush with that banner there.
That's top quality. They still got the Uber charge on Crayon as well. If they want to be trying to get a repush going, they're going to be taking up this second point. Lovely, lovely stuff indeed. And they're going to be in a very solid position to repush onto this last point with a bit of an Uber advantage. I think by the time they build it up, it might be about a 50% add, give or take. And you can already see, look at this. The absolute nuts are prepping for this. Absolutely. They've got Ayak Gink on the heavy roll, just hiding in a secret area. And here comes the Uber charge into the last point. Moving in. Sentry Gun going to get bursted down to a degree. Finally going to be swatching off the class, and the Uber charge will start to fade a little bit. Nobody playing the point with that Uber charge to a degree. Ratslayer's on about half HP on the point. One more rocket will finish him off. The kill's definitely flowing in favor of Lowpander. 4 down for them. Moving in, Funz is just going to stop and aim and work his magic, and indeed there we have it. 1 round on the board for the side of Lowpander.
Yeah, that was a definite deja vu situation. They sorted their stuff out. They really had that clinical push. It did look a bit shaky as they didn't get that many frags with the Uber, but they really just played their positions. They put cover over their head from the soldiers, and they just managed to find the frags. But we do roll out into this second mid. Hildreth opting for the left-hand side, and no funky off-classes as of yet.
We're working their magic just yet. Still rotating around. Mookie might be in a bit of trouble just to lay onto the low ground for now. Leaping forward, and it's going to be Ubers who finds the first kill onto Crafty. That sets things up. Hildreth following up as well with the kill onto Gink. Trading these kills quite equally right now. 3 down on either side, but it's just Corndog and Ratslayer left alive now. Corndog taking a 1v2. Ubers will bring him down, so now it will be the complete wipe on the side of the absolute nuts. Number mid fight going to be won here for the side of Lowpander. Capping it up nice and cleanly, but I guess a bit of a silver lining there is that both medics did end up falling, so neither side has the Uber charge advantage to be pushing off.
This is kind of the Nunya strategy by default. They put all their eggs in the Pappy and Yellen basket, and they kind of just send them in together in almost every situation, and especially on the mids as well. And it didn't really work out. They got colossal damage, but Crafty and Gink were just like nowhere to be found, and they couldn't follow up. The positions weren't played, and Lowpander just baited in that aggression. We saw a Crayon surfing away magically, and they just can't find any frags on these mids. Crayon does have a 30% odd Uber advantage, but Crafty is up on that Engineer, which could hinder them a little bit if they try to push.
Tell you what, Crayon has improved a significant amount since when I think Crayon was one of my first ever casts on ETF2L. It was when he was in 3 out of 6. It was a while ago. It was like 3 out of 6 versus Salty Frogs, I think, was way back. But he's improved a ton since then, at least on the medic role. He's definitely stepped it up. And the Uber charge advantage was there to a slight degree for Lowpander, but not really enough to play off as it's already faded off into the mists, into the ether. And 100% on either side. Mookie, however, look at him making some plays in the water area. He's behind them. He's got to drop onto Yellen. He's going to trade equally, so that's a 1-for-1 trade. Not really what he was looking for to a degree, but now look at this, moving into the back lines. Uber moves in. 1 rocket just did not clip onto Corndog. He almost got that drop. Corndog just about narrowly escaping with his life there.
That was a really good play to sack the soldier in after Mookie had already gone. They knew that players would have to rotate to the point if you didn't have that person watching under, so it perfectly set up the sack, but he just couldn't hit the rockets in the end, as we do see an Uber trade. Lowpander, much worse Uber, as Corndog finally pops it off. Pappy falling to very low health, so as I say that, suddenly it turns. Lowpander are just going to fall out, and they might set up a repush as tentative play from Nunya, and Mr. Epic falls, so just back and forth fight as Pappy tries to hit the air shot on the top. Uber's falls, Fun's cleaning up Crafty, and it's just such a messy fight here.
Yeah, for a second then I thought it was going to be going the way of Lowpander, the way they just re-engaged into the fight. At the back end of that Uber, it is definitely looking in their favour, but I believe it was Mr. Pappy who took the high ground up on above the choke point, started spamming them out from below, and immediately turning that fight in their favour once and for all. And look at this, I mean, they're going to be taking up the mid. Absolute nuts in a happy position so far. Still a 1-round deficit as it stands. 1 round going away of Lowpander, but definitely in a position to work off, and not the worst scenario in the world, definitely, with 19 minutes and 40 seconds remaining.
It's honestly strange that we haven't seen Mookie bring out any of the strats. I think because they're expecting to win this game on the side of Lowpander, they're just testing the conch and the different banners. They really want to, as you see, they have 2 different banners available right now. So I think they're honestly experimenting with this different type of play, like sort of using the AoE abilities to sort of, you know, move through these chokes, especially in such a small choke point, but Pappy moving through. They're really trying to send it behind. They're pressuring this big door. This is sort of their go-to strat, and very furtive play from Lowpander. They don't want to bait anyone in to, but just as I say that, it does turn, and Mookie falls, but Crafty falls in return, and it's just going to reset here.
1-for-1 trade not working out for them. Uber's falling incredibly low in the choke point. Just going to back off for the heals in the end. And this is just really classic gully wash, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's going to be 100% Uber on both these sides. Not really enough to play off so far. They're looking for the picks, looking for the advantage to work their way in. And as it stands, Mookie is making his signature off-class roll. It's going to be swapping to the spy. Oh no, he was just checking the classes, checking for all the off-classes. He's going to be switching back to the soldier now. Moves back. So they do know that Crafty is on snipers. They're not going to be peeking these sightlines.
It'll be interesting to see if they try and build up both the banners and then push. Because imagine that, you take a trade and then you completely repush with resistance and speed and health regen. It almost seems unstoppable, right? It's like almost better than an Uber, really, in some senses. So it'll be interesting to see if that's what they're playing around with. We do see Crafty on the sniper, which is strange because of how talented Gink is on the sniper. But I think they're just going to try and hinder the push with that sniper presence. I think they're just going to keep him there, watch all the doors, make sure they can't push, get anyone behind, etc., and really can't flood through with those banners. I think he's just there to keep the peace.
It's interesting. Normally, like, it's been a while, but like teams talked way back, like even a year or 2 ago, about experimenting with the banners. But look at this, it's a sack attempt into the back. Pappy goes for the kill there on to Mr. Crayon. Doesn't work out for him. He's going to get brought down. A 1-man advantage now for Lowpander. And probably not enough to work off in the end, but now they're going to be popping off the old, I think that was the conch, was it? Yeah. Never really tell with these. They all sound similar, but there's the battalion backup. They're going to be both, yeah, as you mentioned, they're going to be going in with both. Damage resistance and the speed and the health regen. Corndog, he just pops up in the nick of time. He almost fell there. Going to be getting that Uber charge off, and Crayon has the Uber still, so he can easily repush this in with the Uber charge if they want, and that's what they're waiting for, Dolly.
I think that, but now they still have the Uber, so they technically have 2 Ubers in the situation. They've used it to force off the Uber, and they played it to absolute perfection. Now they have a free Uber advantage to work with. A lot of spam coming onto Crayon. He falls majorly low there, but does pop off the Uber as they do get Crafty as an entry frag. Their flank is kind of weak, but the timing is perfect, and they have got 1 pick to roll into this second point. Corndog, not much of an Uber advantage to work off, and I think, honestly, that they could push this on the side of Lowpander.
Is that what you want, though, at the end of the day? They use the Uber charge, and they only manage to take mid from it. Surely you want to get a bit more value out of it, because it's high value, isn't it? An Uber charge. You don't want to be wasting it willy-nilly, and the fact that you only managed to cap mid, and now you're going to be going up against Uber charge advantage on the side of the absolute nuts, as you can see, already making their way into the mid-fight. They're going to be moving in with the dry push, as now just spamming in these players. So weak in the choke point, forced to back off. Funds is going to be falling. Gink with the follow-up onto Mookie. Wonderful, beautiful stuff. The Uber charge has built up onto Crayon now, but with 2-man disadvantage, Dolly, they're going to be easily moving into the second point.
Yeah, and Crayon can't get out. There's no escape for him, and he does have to pop off, but Rat Slayer falls. That's the classic for Nunya. Ratslayer can't stay alive in these fights, especially in other fixtures we've seen. Crafty falls as well, and I don't think that they expected to have the Ubers that quickly. But as you said, they can't, like, pushing from a drop down, they can see you coming from a mile away, so perhaps a wrong call there. They only got mid off of it, as you said, and they only got one frag, so but it didn't work out luckily on the side of Lowpander, so they can repush through this big door with a slight Uber advantage, and they're looking to just almost take it for free as they lock off these doors.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be a sealed deal, really, isn't it, for Lowpander? They're going to be easily able to cap up this second point. The positioning was not there in the slightest for the side of the absolute nuts. Now they're forced to back off onto the last point. Still, Uber advantage. I've just spilled my beer everywhere. Ignore me. All right, Dolly, carry on, carry on.
Okay, well, Bren fixes his alcoholism problem. We are going to see a massive Uber advantage coming in from Crayon, along with the conch. So massive speed abilities here being used. AoE, everyone on this last point is getting that speed boost. There's nothing to be content with as Gink falls, Yellen falls, and it's a complete wipe on the side of Nunya. They can't do anything against that double push. Wow. They do have the conch, and they use the Uber. That's something that I've wanted to experiment with, you know, for a while. You see, in such a messy mobility, you know, fundamental game, having that speed is just so powerful. We see it in other games such as Overwatch as well, and it just makes you so much harder to hit, and you take some ground so much quicker as we roll out to this third mid.
Yeah, speed boost almost invaluable in these scenarios, but another reset here onto the mid. It's going to be the third mid fight here of map number 1, and Mookie is on the sniper roll, brings down Ratslayer, but traded out quite equally so far. 2 picks going either way. The third is Cornrock's going to be falling, and Lowpander once again just rolling it forward. Bit of a silver lining there, as Crafty is going to manage to find Crayon in the midst of it, but so equal Uber charges in the end of it. But again, another mid fight going away of Lowpander, and it's almost like a one-sided story here.
Yeah, I mean, Lowpander, that's the thing about them. You do have the initial tilt factor, but you also have the late game tilt factor. They have so many tricks up their sleeve, and they have so much to bring out. They could bring anything to the mid fight, whereas if you're Nunya, you only have set strats, and you kind of have to play it on the fly. These double soldier bombs won't always work, especially in the face of a sniper. And as I say, I think Nunya are perhaps getting a bit tilted, and Lowpander don't seem to be giving up. They're fairly relentless. Ubers does fall, but I wouldn't imagine Nunya are going to push off that anytime soon. Oh, is this a pause, or is my game just crashed? I think the game's crashed, yeah.
Alright, no, it's back. It's back. It took a weird stage. Yeah, okay. So, Lowpander going to be building up the Uber charge. The Boston Basher for now, seeing if they can get a bit of an advantage. They do have a slight one. It's going to be about 15% in the making, but not really enough to work off to a degree. And the Ubers ends up falling there to a trap from Ratslayer. I think that might have been a sack attempt onto the last to try and get Corndog to pop it off, but one-man advantage and absolute nuts. They want to move off it.
Yeah, and I think the timing is perfect. They're pushing out top when Lowpander is sitting in lower. They do want to contest arcing these stickies, but Pappy's going to spin around the corner and just get so much damage. He takes down Hildreth as they try and wrap through lower. That's an amazing play, and now Crayon and Mr. Epic are just stuck against the sentry. This is the worst Uber that they could possibly ask for. Mr. Epic is just going to abandon Crayon as he runs away, and poor Uber there on the side of Lowpander. Pappy making the plays for his team and forcing out that Uber, and now massive Uber advantage from Corndog.
It is indeed. They're going to be playing off it. Crafty brings down Mookie, moving in even further forward. Still on the last point, but definitely in a position to try and retake this. They need to be careful, though, because Ubers is waiting in lower. Crafty is going to spot him, so he's going to be trying to take the 1v1. Ubers comes out on top, though. One-man advantage going their way, and Funds is going to be joining him. 2 picks now. This could be disastrous for them. They got the Uber charge, but they've lost 2 players. He's going to even it out. Ratslayer with the pipes brings down Uber. That is filthy, filthy stuff. And Crayon now forced onto the last point. He realizes it's all over. I'm not really sure what he was going for there, but went for the last-ditch saw onto the final point to try and possibly make a move with the Uber charge, but I think he would be better off kill binding in that scenario. Still, the second point will be capped up now for the absolute nuts.
It just turned in an instant. Ratslayer absolutely pounding out damage there, pulling it out for his team, punishing that wrap play through lower. And now Hildreth and Crayon have spawned, but Hildreth's not going to have that much health, especially and damage output on this mid. And they want to roll off this. Pappy taking the nipple high ground. Uber's trying to make a cheeky flank through the behind area. but can't do anything. Mookie and Ubers have fallen, no soldiers on the side of Lowpander, and as we see, very passive play, looking to control the top, building with Mr. Epic, but that's a free mid. Not popping that Uber from from Nunya. Ratslayer does die with a 12-second spawn, so that's going to hurt them a little bit, but they do want to take this lobby area regardless.
Good stuff all around. As it stands, still with that Uber charge advantage, Crown about 70%. He may have the Uber if they take their sweet time with it, which is looking like the absolute nuts are wanting to do that indeed. They're in the lobby area, just playing it very passively though, and Crown already on 95% means there's going to be no chance for them to push him with the Uber charge advantage. Still, it's going to be a sentry gun built up on the last, still running the conch, I believe. I don't know if
and Ubers has just switched on to the battalion's backup, so they're looking for this double banner play as, again, this is kind of their new strategy, their new kind of go-to strategy. They're just testing these things. They're just really, sitting comfortable on 2 rounds up. They're in the golden zone, as I like to say, and they're Condog and the gang looking to move forward, but they are going to be faced with at least 1 banner, so perhaps tentative to push in here, Bren.
Yeah, Crafty's worked his way into the lower water area. We're clearing the stickers. They might know he's still there. It's a tough ask for them right now if you're a Nunya fan, because you're up against a lot of damage. The backup attempt comes out, but Crafty will get brought down by the sticky traps, and now here comes the sack attempt into the back. They don't do enough damage. In fact, Crown is perfectly happy, nice and chipper. Will not be going down.
Yeah, we see these classic doubles sacks on Gully Wash. It's so easy to do because they physically cannot push out if you have your Demo Man controlling the doors. We see this exact situation here where Ratslayer is just pounding damage into Hildreth and Ubers, trying to push out from that main door. He can just single-handedly lock down these chokes, and we don't even see a push off 2 picks. So classic situation on Gully Wash, but it has allowed time for funds to build up a sentry. So no more sack attempts possibly coming with a sentry in the way. Mr. Epic is up on Spy. Is he just checking classes? No, now he's on the sniper. So we have 2 banners and a sniper and an NG. So full stronghold defense on the side of Lowpander. They're not letting anyone in.
Classic Lowpander. All they need is a heavy to complete the mix, really, at the end of the day. And you got funds on the engineer roll, just holding on to this last point. Still on the back foot. 8.5 minutes left, might I remind you. And a 2-round deficit to Nunya, who are currently on the attacking side here, pushing into this last point, and need to get a move on if they want to try and find enough time to possibly clinch this out into maybe a golden cap, maybe even a win. Still doable for them. Pappy moves in for the kill. 1 rock onto Crail. Doesn't hit the second one. Crail just about narrowly escapes it into the back. Wonderful movement coming out from him.
Oh, and the 2 banners have been blown. The first one has allowed them to get at least 1 pick, and now 2 picks on the side of Lowpander. And Mookie has just used his conch to get all the way through onto Conch.
Whoa, no
what
way.
A play from Mookie, pulling it out of the bag, using these off-the-wall strategies to just get in Nunya's face and take down crucial players like that. What a play.
+2 in the chat. The second point is going to be capped up for Lowpander, and goodness gracious me, that is not what you want to see. Crayon has 100% Uber charge advantage, moving into this mid now. They've got the advantage, they've got the players, they've got the health, and we're making movements through. But again, is it going to be a similar scenario? Pappy is hiding into the back lines. 1 rocket moves into them. 1 rocket again. The follow-up is not really there. He puts in a decent amount of job, takes it in a 1-to-1 trade. Is Epic going to be falling in the midst of it? And the mid will be given up here with no Uber charge being used by Lowpander.
It seems like Lowpander are almost moving like a solid brick wall, especially with these banners. They don't have a solo initiator. It's Ubers sometimes, and it's also Mr. Epic sometimes. But they generally move together in a blob, whereas Nunya kind of play around their soldiers, as I said previously. Pappy is always the initiator, trying to go behind or trying to get some early damage to play off, but it just can't work especially against the resistance and especially against the playstyle of Lowpander. And although they have tons of off-the-wall strategies, they're just outclassing them, and they're just out-strategying them, to be honest.
Really tough for them to break through. As it stands, Gink is on the spy roll. He's going to be checking for the off classes again. He's going to see that they are running just completely normal compositions across the board. But again, it is Nunya, the absolute nuts, on the back foot. The sentry gun will go down here. Only an opening that they're looking for, was still a blessing nonetheless, and Uber charge on either side. So it's really, really now against the back foot if you are a Nunya fan. And here comes the battalion's backup alongside the conch. not using the conch just yet, but they're going to be moving in. The kill rolls in as a 1-for-1 trade. Sentry gun still alive, putting in work to try and deny them onto this last point. 2 picks, though, here for Lowpander. They'll have to work off potentially Dolly.
Yeah, Mookie getting 2 entry frags for him as he tries to go into that lower. Mookie does fall, same with Fun, so they use those 2 entries to get that sack in, try and potentially get onto Corn Dog. Hildreth falling a bit low, same with Mr. Epic, but they're just going to retreat. Hold the second point, as I previously mentioned, with Hildreth controlling the doors, and just seizing the opportunity there. It doesn't quite work out, but the fact that they even get these opportunities on Mookie getting those 2 frags is pretty unbelievable, to be honest.
Still, damage going to be pumped into them. Hildreth in a bit of a sticky situation. He's already on a sliver right now, moving in. Uber charge going to be used by both these teams, but it is Lowpander with a slight advantage, and Gink will fall. First casualty here in the midst of this push, as it's really kicking off in the lobby area, as they're finally going to be chasing down the frags. Finds Rat Slayer into the final moments. 2 picks going their way. I think this is Lowpander looking to try and seal the deal here with a 3rd round. Moving it even further forward, putting in the damage, putting in the work. A 1-for-1 trade into the final moments. The point is getting played by Fun's. Happy has no choice but to move on to this, but it's too little, too late. And a round will go their way. 3-0 is the scoreline with 4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Not even really remotely doable right now for Nunya. And it's even if they were able to do it, I mean, a minute 30, they could cap in, theoretically. But they need to be so fast, Dolly.
Yeah, but we do see Lowpander fully playing this defensive playstyle now. They have Mr. Epic on the sniper and Mookie slowly waddling to mid on the heavy roll. So no soldier bombs going to be happening from on Ninja's side. And they have opted as with this heavy, as I say, and he's just spraying from below. And they do take quite a lot of mid control on the side of the absolute nuts early. But Mookie just spraying down Gink, and they can't contend with it. They're just sitting back, but no ground is being taken, and they're just fully getting Mr. Epic all these sightlines that they could possibly want. And I think the early play from Nunya did win them that eventually, but the heavy definitely put up a fight there.
The ultimate stall, the only way realistically that Nunya were going to be able to basically defend this for their team, or basically try and take a few rounds at least, was to be rapid off the pouch. And well, Mookie on the heavy, Mr. Epic on the sniper, not really going to be working out for them. And into the final moments of this game, with 3 minutes 30 seconds remaining. Kills are just being traded all over the place. Some 1-for-1 trades happening absolutely everywhere. I think this map is going to be firmly going in the way of Lowpander.
Yeah, it's definitely still possible for Nunya, but they're just looking really shaky. They can't deal with any of these strategies that Nunya are throwing at them, Lowpander are throwing at them. The second that they figure out one, Lowpander just throw another one at them, and that's definitely one of the linchpin factors of Lowpander's team. They have so many strategies up their sleeve, and they just can bring out anything at any given moment, as well as having solid team play. It looks like one last-ditch effort for Nunya as they do try and trade and get some fast play out, but Ratslayer is going to fall classic fashion, classic mistake from Nunya, and it's just not working out in every push they try and make. They can't waste these opportunities anymore, Bren.
Alright, well, with 2 minutes 40 seconds remaining on the clock and a 3-round deficit, realistically Nunya are going to be out for the count for this map at least. But we're going to be going to map number 2. It's going to be product. It's going to be a King of the Hill map. What is your opinion then for this to be turned around, for them to potentially steal away 3 points in these in the Swiss format here of ETF2L? What do you think that Nunya need to turn around in the next game? What was the weakest point? Because you mentioned a lot about the strategies that Lowpander are employing, and that as soon as they figure out one, Lowpander just turn it upside down over their heads, and they don't really know how to react to it. Do you think it's just a case of being much more flexible in terms of adapting to that, or is there individual players that need to be focused on? Now, what do they need to do for this second map?
Well, I really want to believe that Nunya can do this, but for one, they look really shaky in every sort of push that they try and make. And also, I remember Pappy specifically saying that Viaduct was, you know, one of their worst maps, if not their worst map. So, yeah, they've looked, when I've scrimmed them, they've looked really shaky on it. They put all their eggs in the Pappy basket, and they just can't, like, seem to follow up on their soldiers very much. But, I mean, the thing is about Viaduct, it's one sedentary point, right? It's just there, you can kind of test things out, you know the default positions, that it doesn't move and flow like 5CP does. Yeah. You don't have to cope with different terrain, you don't have to check corners as much, you don't have to do this. You can just kind of play the same fundamental strategy over and over again. So I think that that allows testing on both sides. I think that they, Lowpander are definitely kind of pushing their limits a little bit, seeing what they can and can't do. You saw the double banner, you saw the heavy and the sniper play. They really are testing out what they, you know, how far that they can push the limit and still win. And I think that that's going to be even more of a case on Viaduct. The tilt factor, again, is going to be more of a case as well, but I think we're going to see some Engineer, we're going to definitely see Mr. Epic on the Sniper, as it's a very catered to Sniper map. But Heavy's very good in sort of hard defense situations, especially in Uber trades on Viaduct as well. Same with Sniper. Pyro, we've seen the classic Stark play to sort of break those forward holds and even push further than that sometimes, as we saw at Rewind. But definitely, like, you know, it's gonna be very hard for Nunya to claw this back. Yep. You know, on their worst map against a map that allows so much more freedom, when you're losing on such a fundamental map when there's not much freedom is, you know, kind of a cause for concern. And I think Lowpander are going to be absolutely relentless and dominant on this next map, but I do want to believe, as always.
Want to believe in I mean, the only person I realistically know is Gink on the enemy team, and I kind of want him to lose, so don't know if I can say I want him to win, I want to believe, but no, I do wish him the best. Moving into this second map, at least. King of the Hill. It is Product, the one and only, on ETF2L. Second map here in Season 27. Can you believe it? 27 seasons in ETF2L already. Week number 4. And I can't believe it's week number 4 as well, actually. I seem to have just missed the entirety of the action. The last time I cast was in the preseason. Now I remember. Preseason. Weeks ago.
Yeah, one thing to note, actually, Gink didn't really play Sniper at all that map, but this is definitely an opportunity for him to shine and show off his talent, because it is a sniper-centric map. I actually remember on the fixture in the preseason playoffs when they did play against Nunya, Lolly Squad previously had Gink, and, you know, against Nunya, Gink was on fire. He was hitting mid-air headshots, he was hitting like 4Ks on Spy, all this random stuff, and he definitely is a talent, and I think that that can definitely thrive here. He just needs to turn up, and perhaps he isn't having that good a day on Sniper. You know, you do have on and off days as that sort of player, as the star player, as the playmaker, but, you know, it's now or never, really, for Nunya, and especially Gink. I think it rests a lot on Gink and Pappy's shoulders to really, you know, sort their stuff out, and Ratslayer just not getting caught as much in trades. I think you need a lot more cohesion in those trade situations between Ratslayer and Corndog. Just general fundamentals need to be worked on. But if anyone can do it, it's Gink.
Alright, I've accidentally banned Permzilla in the Whoops. How do I unban him? Hold on. Give me a sec.
Wait, in this channel or
no.
the main one?
No, in Team Fortress TV, I was spamming saying, "Come over to Team Fortress TV 2. It's the better cast. It's the better cast." And I went to go ban someone, and then Perm, the chat moved up, and I accidentally banned Perm. Whoops.
Interesting to see. I'm just having a look at these logs. Mr. Epic going pretty huge. I mean, it's a low damaging map, but, you know, Mr. Epic 19-8 on a relatively slow game. Same with Hildreth. You know, fairly decent damage as well. 18-7 on him. And on the other end of the table, we have Yellen on 7-16. Decent damage, but I think he just couldn't make any of his bombs work. Logs don't always represent everything, but it did in that situation. Yellen not having the greatest of games, and relatively mediocre results on the side of Nunya, sitting kind of mid-table in terms of damage and frags. I just don't think that they can really utilize their playmakers and get those frags, as you're sorting out getting Permzilla unbanned forever. Hashtag free Permzilla.
Where is this? I'm trying to find the logs now, to be honest. It's not a good day for me. I just search for Gink. There we go. And then, I found the logs. Yeah, gotta watch when it's played in that sort of slow style, I guess. It's some of the damage numbers are going to be a bit lackluster, especially from the scouts. When you have a slow, spammy game through the chokes, it's going to be the projectile class that will be coming up with the damage numbers at the end of the day. But as you can see, driving force of the team, Uber's consistently coming out on top in a lot of these engagements, almost 400 damage per minute. And he did have a majority of the heals, not going to lie. He had a big amount of heals, 25% heals, but Still good stuff, good stuff. And what I'm really keen for is map number 2. When's that coming?
They're probably just talking things over, to be honest. Lowpander just kind of setting up what strategies they'll bring out, what will work and what won't work. And I think Lowpander are sitting pretty chill, to be honest. I think they're expected to win the second map, so they're just kind of breezing through it, kind of taking their time, just, you know, clearing the heads. But Nunya really have the chat to have. You know, they really need to sort things out. They need to, especially, you can't be making these mistakes and losing these silly situations in week 4. You'd expect that stuff to be sorted out. I mean, they did look strong in week 1 and 2, right. So it'll be interesting to see if they're like kind of crumbling a little bit, or maybe just having issues within their team. But Pappy, you know, seemed fairly confident about his team last time I spoke to him on the interview, and you know, so I think that they just need to step up. They need to utilize their playmakers. And it's, yeah, certain names just need to turn up, because they're not going to beat Lowpander with solo fundamental. You have Hildreth, who's, you know, played the game for years and years. Funds, a really good up-and-comer, understands the game relatively well. And all the off-the-wall strategies to add on to it. You know, Mr. Epic, really good DMer. They can't solo beat Lowpander through DM. They have to beat them through, you know, kind of crazy strategies and, you know, really big distraction plays. And they have to utilize Pappy and Gink. I've said it before and I'll say it again. That these are the 2 names that need to step up if they have any chance of getting into this game.
Interesting you mentioned that. Like, the way they have to win is by out-stratting them to a degree. But would you say that's the same case for teams like Seven when they played them in the past? Seven seemed to be much more stronger in the DM department, at least, and they seem to overcome it like that. Do you think if Lowpander ended up stepping up a lot of their game, it would force some of these top tier teams, Seven perhaps, to maybe change the attitude towards them and play style?
Yeah, I mean, regarding Seven, I think that's more of the case of if they played Arctic Foxes. I think Lowpander have beaten Arctic Foxes in the past, and other kind of top expected teams like Lego and Top 5 Rocket as well. Sorry, Nerd Rage. But, you know, I think with the case with Seven, I think Cadis has kind of studied Lowpander's play a bit more than other people maybe have. You know, he kind of talks to them about a lot, and he understands the kind of play behind their playstyle and understands the mistakes that they make. So with Cadis now on the Seven roster, I think that they might not be broken as hard, and they, you know, Cadis is good at controlling the team's mentality and kind of stopping tilt, because he's such a long-standing player.
Yeah,
he knows how to kind of overcome rage and overcome sort of his team freaking out a little bit. Well, with these new teams, with these up-and-coming teams like Arctic Foxes and, you know, things like that, it really lies on like people like Feeling and things to not tilt from Lowpander, and it's really hard to not tilt from Lowpander because they just bring out so many strategies, and you really have to be critically thinking and thinking on the fly and really, really fast with your decision making. There's no room for mistakes against Lowpander. So against Seven, we could see it, but against other teams, I think Lowpander could go all the way. I think that they could, you know, possibly make finals if they really, really went the full distance. But we do see Mr. Epic checking these classes as we roll out to the first mids. But Mr. Epic immediately on Sniper.
Yeah, this is interesting indeed. Sniper, traditionally quite a strong class to come out open and shut against on the Viaduct, at least on product. We'll see if they manage to turn it around for their team. Going to be exchanging the spam for now. It's going to be the loose cannon used by Hildreth as well, trying to deny a lot of area as well from the side. But in the back lines, Yellen going to be moving in. Mr. Epic eats a rocket, going to be falling quite low. Yellen does claim the kill though. Rassler with the pipe. In the back lines, Hildreth going to be falling. That's a 1-for-1 trade in the end. Skink did fall, and a point will be claimed up first most here to Nunya.
Yellen did so much on that mid. He just bombed Cliff as Pappy was creating all the distraction on the right side. And we do see even Ubers on this situation. Condor gonna pop his out on first as a solo Uber. Crayon replies with a solo Uber, and it's a fairly even trade, but Funds is hungry. He wants to chase. He's just pounding the damage into Condor. Oh my god, Funds and Mr. Epic are just holding hands around this map and cleaning everything up. But we do see Crafty sneaking behind, looking to make a play. And they do know he's behind, so he should die swiftly. But yeah, good try there. But Nunya taking that first mid. Great play from Yellen. He has stepped up so far, but great reply from Lowpander.
Tough scenarios ahead. Only 30 seconds of time bought here for Nunya against Lowpander. Lowpander just ticking down the clock. Oh my goodness. Yellen with the headshot goes down in the end. 3 frags here for Lowpander. Make it 4. Make it 5 as it was just a dry push attempt, seeing what they can get done. Corndog is trying to run away. He's Funds! How do you win that? He chased him down. Corndog did not know what to do. Funds will fall, but he's going to be happy with that as Crayon has a hefty Uber advantage.
Well, it will be interesting to see if they do the sack wave while Funds is down, because he does have a long spawn. So they could utilize off that, and Pappy is hungry. He wants to go. He's moving through this connector area, and we could see this a pseudo sack wave here. He's moving into the right side, does jump away. Classic play. Pappy just moving into that distraction play. But Mr. Epic hitting headshots left and right. Hildreth with the sticky trap is going to take down Yellen, but Mr. Epic and Fonz are on form at the moment.
He just doesn't care. He just does not care about Gink. Gink on the sniper roll is just nothing to him. He headshots him for days. Normally, in the previous game, they put Crafty on the sniper roll. Now they've got Gink. It's not working out for them, really, is it? 1.5 minutes here. Ticked down for the side of Lowpander. It's getting into the final moments. Corndog, I should say, almost has his Uber charge. About 5% away. We'll be building it up. They might try and take it as an Uber v Uber trade. Might try and sack in a few players. Try and play the point slowly. Who knows? The world is that oyster in this current scenario, but the Uber charge is going to be used. Crayon going to be popping his off as well. Slightly better Uber charge on the side of Lowpander. They try and take it in. Mr. Epic, however, wins the 1v1 duel once again, creating space for his team. 3 frags, 4 frags going their way, and Lowpander sailing it home. In the backlines, there is a single monumental player in the form of Yellen, but he will be ending up falling again. So the point's still in control. 50 seconds, counting down, and an Uber charge advantage for Crayon.
Yeah, these trade situations are really where the snipers thrive, and when you have Mr. Epic on that sniper just on the defensive position, he can just headshot everything. He has free roam to do everything. Free reign, as I should say. But yeah, excellent play, really collapsing on them on the side of Funds. It looks like aggressive play coming out from Pappy as Yellen is going to use that opportunity to get behind, but Uber's actually on the scout here, as we do see Mr. Epic on the snipers. So 2 scouts and a sniper, classic play on Viaduct, but interesting to see Uber's on the scout, but Funds is just absolutely going nuts as I say that. Mr. Epic, does get traded off. That's Hildreth, but both these snipers looking really strong so far, but Mr. Epic just making tons of entry plays for his team, and Funds just collapsing every single time. Again, Mr. Epic, as Mookie does fall, but Mr. Epic is going nuts right now.
Honestly, a game of snipers is what this game is entirely. It's ridiculous. They're just waiting for these picks off both sides. Uber charge comes in from Lowpander. The final seconds, the point didn't even go away here for the side of Nunya. They've lost 2 players. The countdown begins. Only a few stragglers left alive. Alright, Gink is going to pick up one with the fully charged body shot. Ratslayer starting to play the point. Has to lay down the stick. He's trying to deny them off, but the overtime ticks down. They got nobody to get onto the point. Lowpander working their magic all over the place. It counts down, it ticks down, and there you have it. Even though Gink did get the final beautiful little headshot there in the final moments, not going to be good enough. Round number 1 goes the way of Lowpander.
Gink and Mr. Epic are online, and they're the definite linchpins of this team.
Toggling,
but
they
need to they need to stop Funds collapsing on them every time they try and Uber in. Every time Funds is just waiting in the back lines, as you would say. And it looks like Pappy is going to go for a very deep play. Takes down Mr. Epic, so the sniper threat is gone. And now Gink has free reign to snipe. But as I say, Mookie replies with another pick onto the sniper. Mookie coming in all the way in from behind. Corndog flies up in the air. And again, just amazing replies from Lowpander.
Damage is definitely done at this stage. There's not much they can possibly do. They've realized Mr. Epic is the problem in terms of these pushes, again, because it forces the line of sight when they're running a sniper, and when Mr. Epic is popping off when he's hitting these shots. Really, realistically, there's nothing you can do on that side. So they're forcing Pappy to go into the back lines almost immediately to bring him down. But as soon as that happens, they trade equally, they lose 1 for 1, and they've lost one of their soldiers in a map that kind of does depend on it quite to a decent degree. And look at this, Mr. Epic, he's not messing around. He picks off another one. Crafty ends up falling. 1-man advantage. The point will tick down still. They're just trying to spam it out. Nunya, the absolute nuts, working a raid, just rotating around here and there, but not really working out for them. Pappy moves into the back, tries to take the 1v1 against Mookie. Mookie straight up into the stratosphere, but he does survive as Ubers is there to help him out.
Crayon holding on to that Uber as a reply swiftly comes from Nunya. But Crayon, great movement there, holds onto his Uber like an absolute beast. and now this is just going to set up so many defensive plays from on the side of Lowpander. They have absolute faith in Mr. Epic that he can just play this defensive position and get free sights on them as they do try and push in on the side of Nunya. But Gink is hungry. He wants to move through this cliff area, try and get some picks as they do try and pressure the cap a little bit. Pappy gonna take an arrow, but as you said, it's a game of snipers, and we do see an Uber trade come in.
Finally, Uber charges come out as well. Gink falling very low with the headshot, and Mr. Epic brings down Crafty. A one-man advantage going their way. Mookie in the back brings him down. 3 down now for the side of Nunya, and it might just be 4. The rockets are flowing in right now onto Corndog. Ratslayer caught between a rock and a hard place almost precisely as he was trapped against the cliff edge, ends up falling. Still 1 minute 20 seconds ticking down now for Lowpander. Round number 2 looks to be firmly in their grasp.
Pappy is hiding here. I'm not sure if they actually know that he's here, but these trade situations are absolutely poor from Nunya. They keep Ubering first and expecting it to work, and that is the definition of madness, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting it to have different results. But Mr. Epic again with the entry frag. There's no stopping this man. He's absolutely turning up on this map. And Funds is going to get the pick on the back lines onto Pappy as Crafty falls. But these scouts are absolutely running rampant on the side of Nunya, and no dry push is going to work against Lowpander in this situation.
I made a Far Cry 3 reference, that exact same reference the other day when I was casting Preview 3 Overwatch.
Funds is hiding! He's in onto Corndog!
He brings in Corndog!
That's an amazing play from Funds. He hides, he knows his situations well, and he just pulls it out for him right at the tail end of this round. What a play from Funds, making the most of the terrain. Great stuff from him.
Beautiful. They popping off the Uber though. Lowpander forced in a bit of a difficult situation. The point is firmly under control, I should say, of Nunya. The absolute nuts have managed to straggle away from them, but they're losing all these players. They forced out the Uber charge, and when this recap comes through, they've only got a few seconds to work off it, and it is going to be do or die time right now for that one side. It is equal Uber, so it's not like they're running their heads against a brick wall of Uber charges, but here comes the attempt now. Nunya moving into the back lines. Funds, though, answers back. Pappy's going to fall. Ratslayer laying down the damage, trying to basically lay down the law for his team to roam across the point, but it's not working out. He's getting rushed down. Mookie into the back. Ratslayer with the pipe. Ooh. Finds the kill onto Uber's moving in. Recap coming out. A few seconds remaining. The overtime ticking over. Hildrift and Mr. Epic combining their damage. Funds follows it up, and it might just be a second round. Pappy moves in. Crayon go with the saw. The overtime ticking down finally in a second round will go the way of Lowpander. Wonderful, wonderful stuff.
Well, Mr. Epic and Funds are just absolutely on form. Really, really solid stuff from them. They're just playing really good fundamental TF2. Funds cleaning up everyone who's out of position. No one can step out of line from Nunya without dying immediately. And these trade situations are just absolutely horrible for Nunya. They need to switch something up. They need to do something else. It's their worst map, but they have to try. As we do see Yellen flying in on these back lines. They're trying to set up this double soldier bomb again as Pappy bombs the exact same side. Lovely air shot from Pappy there. They take down 2 frags as Crayon falls. That's the medic. 2 frags going the way of Lowpander. But what an amazing initiation as we do see Mr. Epic hitting a nice shot there, but Funds goes down. Frag's being traded left and right, but somehow it's turned and it's gone the way of Lowpander eventually.
Mr. Epic on the snipers, the driving force, but Cap will go the way of Nunya. Mookie wants to move in though. He wants this kill onto Corndog. Corndog on a sliver of HP, picked up the health pack. 1 rocket, 2 rockets. He brings him down. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about the health pack. He is down and out. The medic is out of the equation. And here we have it. Nunya moving into the point, moving in with the health advantage, but no medic to work off. And Crayon can easily build this up now. He's already on about 10%. It is going to be a slight advantage to them as Corndog's not going to get to heal these players up enough. The cap will slowly go their way as well, Dolly, as they're starting to work in.
Yeah, and Pappy, interesting that he feeds without a buff. I know, oh, nice shot from Mr. Epic there, turning up again. But Pappy just fed at the very initiation of that fight, the very start of it, and now he has a long spawn, and so does Ratslayer. So, you know, 2 down initiating this fight, and they're pushing into a waiting Mr. Epic, so they can't be doing that. They can't be abusing their spawns when they have the point. They have to play this a bit more carefully and think about, you know, the decisions that they're making.
Here we have it. Do or die time for Nunya. What is that? Uber gets decimated in the air. And then moving in, the Uber charge gets forced out here from Lowpander. Crayon forced to use it up, but he's already 3 players down. Nunya have got them exactly where they want them. The picks going in. Crafty with the pistol brings down Mr. Epic. Hildrift is definitely going to be falling. Indeed, he does. And it will be the cap going their way once again, equally as it stands, but a 2-round advantage, might I add, for Lowpander. Right now, it is do or die time for Nunya.
And we do see the forward hold. Mookie immediately trying to aggress onto him. Oh! And another lovely shot from the Nunya soldiers. Pappy and Yellen are just turning up. This is crazy from them, and they're just going to shut them down as they try and come out of their spawn. But what a play from the Nunya soldiers. They are absolutely on fire right now.
Oh, God almighty. Give me the reverse sweep. I want to see it, Nunya. Give me the reverse sweep. I want to see the 3-2 victory. Bring it all the way back. But for now, that forward hold is detrimental to Lowpander. They didn't know what to do. They were really struggling against them. They're going to be trying to move out again. Spy again.
Mookie is on Spy. This is their choice. This is their choice. Spy and Sniper to break this forward hold. They're just going to rush the players on the right, but it's costly as funds falls. Hildreth does get a nice pipe onto the following Demo Man, but Mookie going to get the stab, and they've just pulled so many frags this way, and Mookie has forced off the Uber from Corndog, and he's just alone. He's frolicking. This is an amazing play from Mookie. Such a creative play to break that forward hold, and he takes him down eventually. What a play from Mookie in the end there.
That is so bad. Corndog, he knew he was going to die in that situation. He should have just kill-binded much earlier. But Mookie, as you mentioned, he stepped up. Spy plays, gets the backstab, forces out the Uber charge, and nobody was there. He had already dropped absolutely everyone. So Lowpander, again, in the driving seat to a certain degree. 2 minutes and counting down. And Mr. Epic, he is just there, ready and waiting to scope firmly on the craniums of Nunya. They're trying to move it in. He hits him another shot. I'm not sure who that was on, but I was hearing the sniper noises regardless of that. Gink's going to be falling 4 down for Nunya. And Lowpander just sailing it home as it stands. The push attempt has to come back. Still, 20% Uber on the side, advantage-wise here, for Crayon at least, on the side of Lowpander. They are in control of the point. It's not over just yet for Nunya, but it's so close to it being so.
Yeah, amazing play from Mr. Epic. I cannot say it enough. He's just turning up. He's making these plays. He's getting these entries. We do see another trade, and this has been the bane of Nunya's play so far. Corner getting spammed very early, and they're looking to fight the beast that is Lowpander. But Pappy has taken down Mookie on the back line. Same with Crafty. They're just abusing this right side flank. The timing on the flank is perfect, and Crayon has to force. Amazing play from Nunya, and they're going to clean up funds. They have to reply with the Uber, but every frag is going to be cleaned up here from Nunya. As I say, that Mr. Epic hits an amazing headshot. Wow.
This is ridiculous. They're actually nutting all over the place right now. Lowpander on an absolute massacre. Funds. He wasn't playing Team Fortress 2. He was playing Grand Theft Auto, just roaming around the map, just popping people off left and right. Picks up a 2K by himself. Crayon pops off the Uber, but it doesn't matter. The recap coming in for them. Still equal Uber charge on either side as it stands. A minute counting down. Nunya need to turn this around. They need an opportunity, but losing players like that, Pappy going to be falling. It's so hard for them.
Yeah, and only 48 seconds left. This round has actually come down to the wire a little bit. They're not letting Mr. Epic have as much free reign as he did before, but he still got all the position. And Crafty falling very low. Does take a quick and swift arrow. Yellen going behind, but he has no follow-up from his team. Poor timing there, and Corndog falls very low. It's looking a bit stretched for time as Pappy does take down Mr. Epic, so the sniper threat is eliminated. A gorgeous Uber coming out from Funds as he sweeps forward. Does manage to get behind with a surf, but Crayon is just frolicking in the fray here, and he will go down. So the Pandas have been slain. Someone call the WWF.
Save the Pandas, man. Save them. At the end of the day, they're just falling like flies, dropping. Hildrift ends up going down. Mookie following up. 25 seconds remaining. Uber charge advantage on Corndog. Is it going to be enough? Ratsley, if he falls here, it could be detrimental for them. Still, the spam coming out, and they're trying to forward hold it on the side of Nunya. They might actually drop a player or two. Gink ends up going down. There's a one-man advantage here for Lowpander. As the final moments of the game ticking down. Do or die time. They lost Ratslayer as well. They use Lowpander moving in. They pick up another one. The fully charged body shot brings down Pappy. Corndog's the only survivor. 14 seconds remaining. The respawners will be coming in, but Corndog falls. There is an opportunity, but it's only a sliver of hope here for this team now. One round stands between Lowpander taking this in the final moment. They jump onto the point. The kill's going away, but it's not going to be good enough. It's a 3-0, and Lowpander will be taking both maps in an almost sweeping fashion.
Wow, 3-0 both maps there. I want to say that was somewhat expected. I thought Nunya would put up a little bit more of a fight, but wow, what a play from Lowpander. As I say, they're looking really, really good this season, especially with the pickups of Crayon and Funds. Really good play on Viaduct. As I say, it's a map where they can really experiment, and Mr. Epic just absolutely turning up there. They just went to their go-to strategy, and it paid off every single time. What a play from Mr. Epic, really turning up. Funds, you know, probably one of his best maps. We saw it at Gamers Assembly as well, where he just absolutely ran rampant. Yeah. And what a play from Funds, what a play from Mr. Epic. You know, really, really good stuff from them. And they could possibly be playoffs. They are sitting comfortably in 4th place right now, but, you know, they do need to work a bit harder to possibly beat some of the other teams. But I think that they definitely could get there with the form that they're showing right now.
They're looking good. They're looking good. They're looking better than the Lowpander I've seen in the past, at least. The previous Lowpander would rely on a lot more gimmicks, so to speak, and it seems they've stepped up in the DM department with a few of the replacements. So, big fan of this Lowpander. Haven't casted much TF2 recently, but that might be changing in recent times. So, good all around. I'm liking it. It's good stuff. Still, I mean, what does this mean for the group stages now? Because I haven't been keeping up to date with the way the matches have been playing out for ETF2L. How are the playoffs going to be working as opposed to when these games come in?
I think players, because it's halfway through the season now, I think players and teams are starting to like slot into where they should be fitting. You know, we've seen a few upsets here and there.
Right, yeah.
But Lowpander having a default loss at the beginning of the season due to some stupid situation. But, you know, I think that they can easily make playoffs. Nunya, this is going to really hurt them, I think. They came last place last season. Or was that 3 out of 6? I'm not sure, but they definitely came bottom of the table. They do have a better roster this season, but if they really want to make it up through the bracket, I think that they have to work a lot harder, and in the next few weeks, just really pound and not have any, you know, just take maps off people here and there, but it's going to get a whole lot harder for Nunya. And I think, yeah, I think Lowpander could make playoffs, and but Lowpander will start to play the harder teams, I think, in the upcoming fixtures. So.
Ooh. Well, do we have logs, or are we just we're gonna call it quits? We're gonna bring in players. We might bring in players. I don't know if anybody's waiting for an interview or not. Do we? Anyone? No interview. Do we have logs? Perhaps. I mean, there's not really much to talk about. It was a 3-0. We do have logs coming up anytime now, but it was an entertaining game nonetheless. There's a lot of fat plays kicking off. Fun's definitely flexing his DM prowess.
Fun's got 385 damage per minute. I realize it was a 3-0, but that is like clockwork level damage on Viaduct. They're absolutely pulling it out for his team. Uber's looking actually pretty solid on the scout. I think that was one of their strategies to begin with. I think that they set that strat up going into this map. It wasn't kind of on the fly. So Uber's definitely showing his DM prowess on the scout. Pappy looking, you know, pretty good as well. On the soldier role, making a lot of initiation plays, a lot of distraction. You saw him going into that concrete area quite a lot, distracting, but no follow-up ever, really, from Nunya. And it's just conflicting playstyles. Gink having a really, really hard time, but he was playing sniper, you know, for half the map and not really getting anything done, perhaps getting overshadowed by Mr. Epic. But wow, Crayon dying 4 times. He actually died 4 times in the last map as well, so, you know, Crayon having a really, really good fixture, and yeah, excellent play from Lowpander all around.
He slammed it. He absolutely slammed it. It was wonderful stuff, to be honest, to look at. And a good showing by Lowpander, as you mentioned before. High hopes for them coming into this season. Right now, they're sitting at 4th seed. They might be going up. How many? They got another 6 points, actually. So they're going to be drawing for 3rd seed, I believe, with Unexpected. I could be wrong. I'm just looking at the tables, actually, on my other monitor. I'm not too sure what I'm really doing, actually. This is honestly a daily occurrence in my life. I don't really know what I'm doing at all, but I'm just trying to wing it and hope for the best. But yeah, Absolute Nut's going to be sitting firmly on the final seed, 8th seed, risking that relegation spot. Not a great time if you're an Absolute Nut fan, if you're a Nunya fan. But regardless,
I don't think they have a whole lot of fans, particularly Bren. I think they're kind of an enclosed. I think they're kind of an enclosed group, but they're definitely a solid team, and they have good potential. Does this put? I think this does put. As
Actually,
Lego lost 6-0 to 7 over on the main channel, so this is going to put Lowpander in line with Lego, both on 16 points. So
does it? No, Lowpander on 6 right now.
Oh right.
So another. Well, Funds has just said that they forgot to submit the other 3. So they need another 6, and then they get 9 points, right? So they're on 3rd seed, right? Nonetheless, they are firmly set in 3rd seed as it stands. Nobody's going to be taking that away from them. Lego's still 2nd seed on 16 points, but that could change next week. You never know.
I'm just going to have a look at who they're going to play next, because that could really set them up for a playoff spot, to be honest. If they get like a really easy match, or someone that they're pretty confident against, or someone who could get tilted.
Arctic Foxes. Oh, no. Wait, is that true? Hold on, wait. I think I'm being an idiot.
Week 5.
Week 5. They're playing in Nerd Rage, so yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
Definitely beat them, I think. Like, Lowpander set up really good for this season. I know that's
how much has Lowpander paid you?
No, I think that's, it is a bold statement, but Nerd Rage aren't looking as good as they did last season.
True.
And Lowpander, especially having good showings against, like, Unexpected and things, I think that they can really pull it out, and it should be a win for them next week. But, so week 5, 5 out of 7 weeks, and you've won most of your games. That's looking really solid coming into playoffs. And they will have to play after that. They'll play some better teams like 7, I believe. Yeah. So 7, and so bit harder towards the end of the season, but they can definitely solidify their
Lego
spot.
And 7. So
yeah, Lego and 7. So two hard teams towards the end. But if they win this next fixture, and especially off the back of this absolutely dominant fixture right now, they're looking really, really good, really, really solid, really tight, making the plays that they need to, playing around their stars, playing around their gimmicky strategies, and really good showing from them. Nunya, on the other hand, just need to step it up a little bit, work on their fundamentals, work on their team fights, and yeah. But overall, a decent match considering the scoreline.
All right, I think we can safely end it here. Dolly, do you have any shout-outs at all?
Oh yeah, shout out to Funds, and shout out to Bumfreeze. Do you have any shout outs?
I do indeed. I'm going to say shout out to my stream, twitch.tv/Bren. I'm probably going to be streaming after this, so come over there. Nobody cares about Team Fortress TV's interviews. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about this channel either. Go to twitch.tv/Bren. Shout out to myself. This is how arrogant I've become. I started casting Overwatch, and this is what it turns me into. I only care about myself from now on. But no, it was a lovely game. Thanks for having me once again. A big shout out as well to Nicell here for the production, sticking it up for EU, doing his job, doing the business. Lovely stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna be streaming YouTube videos because I'm a little bit drunk. It off as well on a better note than that. So thank you very much for watching. I just stopped talking. I didn't know what I was expecting. Thanks for watching ETF2L Season 26, week number 4, Lowpander versus the Absolute Nuts. Thanks for watching. Tune in next week. Rah, rah, rah. All the rest of it. We've got some top quality, top big daddy games coming up. That's what I'm going to use to describe this one. But don't go anywhere. Come to my stream instead. Top quality entertainment all night long. Thanks for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure.